Hi, my name's Gabe Newell. I've been here demonstrating Half-Life 2, and you've got access.
I'm in command of this operation. I want this area cleared. Affirmative on that. Go, go, go! You got it. Move to this position.
Roger that.
Go, go, go!
Same different day.
Al-Shatan. Contact!
Man down! Man down!
Congratulations on your promotion, Corporal. Move to this position.
Fire in the hole! Go, go, go!
Requesting target coordinates. Sending target coordinates. Target acquired. Fox 1, missile away!
Hello there guys, my name is Mario Rizzo. I'm a game designer with Sony Online Entertainment, and I'm here to talk to you about the game that I work on, which is EverQuest 2. Here is a sample of the character creation and customizations in EverQuest 2. One of the big things that we really wanted to do was differentiate the players from one another, and one of our goals in design was to make sure that the characters we're able to identify it in game solely by their features. So if you can see, there's a wide variety of customizations we have for each of the races here. Another set of options that we did provide for the customizations was also that if you take a look, you can see that the dwarves and whatnot have tattoos. There's some specific to the races, like you'll see the different ones for the dwarves, the barbarians, even the half-elves, who are a little bit on the rebellious side, tend to have some piercings and some of the funny hair colors that a lot of our players are really looking forward to, so we added those in. That's a shot of our newest race, the Ratanga. There's 16-player races that we're going to have for EverQuest 2, and that was just a brief glimpse at them. And that was the beginnings of our adventure party that's going to go through the little demonstration I'm giving here for you guys. Now, one of the big things a lot of people asked about is how the tutorial experience would work in EverQuest 2, what the changes would be, and how we would be able to draw in players that maybe were unfamiliar to the genre. The first thing we wanted to do was create the most immersive world, the most realistic online world that we possibly could. And one of the tools that we used to do that was the voiceover. You can see here we have about 130 hours of recorded voiceover. That's about the length of 65 feature motion pictures that you'll see here. It looks like one of the Dracotas is harassing the Farsi's trading company. Here in the beginning of the tutorial, you'll see Captain Barlos will lead the new players, the refugees, to the Isle of Refuge. From that point, what they're going to do is select an archetype, select their skills and level up, and then from that point on, they're going to want to seek citizenship into one of the two major cities. And the two major cities that exist, of course, in the lands of Norab now are that of Kinos and that of Freeport. So we'll start with Freeport. As you can see here, the Overlord, Lucan Delir, rules from up on high in the Citadel. If you look down, you can take a look and see the large armies that he's massing with the militia. This is also a good example of the city ecology that we're putting into EverQuest 2, which is another one of our features. What that means is that the NPCs in our game no longer simply react to the players, but also react to situations in themselves. So what you'll see is NPCs actually speaking to each other, acknowledging each other's ranks, greeting their friends, maybe not speaking with their enemies, and also they'll respond to the players too. So perhaps you've gained enough action with the Freeport militia, like these members of the militia house that you saw when you just walked in, you'd be able to actually have them salute you or greet you. It's just another little social aspect that we've sort of rolled into the design to make sure that the city life feels as immersive as possible for our players. Now, next, if you have the city of evil and tyranny that's ruling one side of Norab, of course you have to have the defenders of good and justice, and here you can see the city of Kinos, definitely much different tone than that of Freeport. If you take a look, you can see that monk over there in his nice new costume getting ready to meditate. Up ahead of him, you see the Three Towers Magical School. That's where the 3 schools of magic are taught in Kinos. One of the other features we'd really like to talk about with the cities is that of player housing. There's been a lot of questions about it. Player housing is going to be available to all the players of EverQuest 2. In fact, you're issued your own instanced apartment, which is going to have a little small area for each player once they complete their citizenship quest for the city of Kinos or Freeport. So all players will be issued some housing immediately upon entering the city. It's also, though, not the limits of housing in the game. There are multi-room homes as well as large mansions and guild houses, which are not instanced but are seen in game, where you can sort of walk by and your friends can kind of look at you and go, hey, it's my castle over there, that's mine. If you want to hang out, check it out. Maybe, let you in for some gold. Here you can see, this is an example of the Orcish waste. You can see that the orcs have changed a bit in the 500 years. They're much more tactical. They've evolved considerably, and they're much more intelligent, therefore a threat to both the cities of Freeport and Kinos. If you look forward there, you can see that the orcs are gathering in front of the Citadel, and our young party of adventurers that had started out in the beginning are going to try and take them on. So let's see how they do combat-wise. Some of the things you guys might want to know while you're watching here is that, first of all, you'll notice all of the different styles of animations we use here. You can see the monks are actually going to use martial arts. Notice that the warriors are using their shields. They're blocking and parrying. You can see the casters casting out their runes as they incant spells right there on the bridgeway. It's just another one of those added extras we like to throw in so that everyone can not just feel their role when they're fighting in combat, but also see it and visually experience it. Now, this next area is actually kind of one of my favorites. It's the obelisk. Here you can see our party of adventurers have reached the sort of the mid-level range. You can see they've definitely got some better gear going on here. Oh, looks like the rogue had to use her hide ability. And it looks like they've triggered a Shadow Man deep here at the obelisk. Hopefully, they'll be able to get out of it okay. We'll see. Ooh. You can see off there in the distance, it looks like some Nightbloods have been summoned. Oh, and the warrior gets hit immediately. That's another thing that we should probably explain, and a good example of our encounter system and our combat brains in EverQuest 2. One of the things about the mobs in EverQuest 2 is they are no longer going to simply attack people at random, but they are going to select the target that actually causes the most danger to them. So those Nightbloods targeting the warrior was definitely not an accident. Also, if you're able to speak their language and they're sentient, you may be able to hear the other races sort of plotting against you and whatnot. So if you were to speak Orc, instead of hearing the gobbledygook, you would hear that fighter in the middle. He's the strongest one. Get him. And then at that point, you'd see all the mobs converge on you. And hopefully, we're hoping that adds a little bit more realism, something of a tactical element. It's something that our players have really seemed excited about, and the community is excited about. So we really wanted to add that in. Probably the last set of questions I get has to do with the high-end, the instance zones and encounters. You see here the Temple of Kazakh-Thul, a name that actually is very familiar to all the old EverQuest 1 players here. And if you take a look and see, there is our group of adventurers finally reaching the pinnacle of their power. They're casting a beneficial buff spell on themselves and moving through the... Well, it looks like something startled the lizardman here. What the... Oh. I think I see a dragon there in the distance. Well, looks like the adventurers are going to try and take them on. Let's see what happens. Oh. Well, don't give up yet, guys. Come on, get back up. Venacore is not that bad. Looks like he's going to issue them a little warning. Back into combat we go. It's also worth noting, guys, that everything you see here is actual in-game footage. We actually shot this with the in-game engine and whatnot. If you take a look behind you, the proof lies in the fact that I have a group of players on our servers that are fighting Venacore. It's the same group of characters, so if you guys want to actually see what you saw here in-game, it's right behind you. Looks like being on the side of good doesn't mean that you're always going to win in EverQuest 2, but it does mean that if you guys think you can do better, go to our website and sign up for the beta. We're still taking applications at www.everquest2.com, and also we've completely redesigned it with added a lot of lore for the cities and the different races, so that if you guys haven't been there in a while, you might want to check it out. Thank you guys very much.
Presente, considerable. Corner.
We're under heavy fire. Incoming!
Taking sustained fire.
Close the hedge.
They're everywhere.
Concentrate fire.
We're under fire.
Taking heavy flak. Turn fire.
We're under fire.
Taking heavy flak.
Incoming! They're everywhere.
Incoming enemy.
I am dominating.
Enemy destroyed.
Enemy dispatched. Heads up, people.
Damn, we're good. Turn fire. New hostile inside.
We're under heavy fire. Enemy in sight, sir.
We're under fire. Enemy in range. Enemy in range.
We're under heavy fire.
We have lost.
Taking sustained fire.
Good attacking.
Engaging enemy.
Zoo this time. My name's Gabe Newell. I'm the managing director at Valve, and I'm going to show you Half-Life 2, as well as give you an idea of what we're doing with multiplayer.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine. Not that I wish to imply you have been sleeping on the job. No one is more deserving of a rest, and all the effort in the world would have gone to waste until, well, let's just say your hour has come again. So wake up, Mr. Freeman. Wake up and smell the ashes.
Just like the original game, Half-Life 2 starts off by introducing you to the world, its occupants, and your role in this world since Black Mesa.
End of the line.
Welcome. Welcome to City 17. You have chosen or been chosen to relocate to one of our finest remaining urban centers. I thought so much of City 17 that I elected to establish my administration here in the citadel so thoughtfully provided by our benefactors. I've been proud to call City 17 my home.
It's all I have left.
So, whether you are here to stay, passing through on your way,
The only ones on that train?
welcome to City 17. It's safer here.
Don't get the word. They put something in there to make you forget. I don't even remember how I got here.
Welcome. My administration in the citadel so thoughtfully provided by our benefactors. I've been proud to call City 17 my home. And so, whether you are here to stay or passing through on your way to parts unknown, welcome to City 17. It's safer here.
This must be a mistake. I got a standard relocation, just like everybody else.
This next segment is one of my favorites from our playtest. This playtester shows how physics can get you into some really interesting trouble, as well as how it can get you out. At this point, I would have been hitting reload. It's too heavy. The Half-Life 2 engine, called Source, its integration in physics makes vehicle implementation straightforward. We're very curious to see how the mod community will take advantage of this. An area in Half-Life 2 is called Ravenholm has been infested with zombies. Father Grigori has sort of appointed himself caretaker of the area.
Brother. And so we meet at last. You are to be commended for avoiding my traps. The work of a man who once had too much time on his hands and now finds time for nothing but the work of salvation. I suspect you have little wish to remain in Ravenholm, so I will show you to the mines. Follow me, brother, and tread lightly, for this is hallowed ground.
You'll learn more about the life cycle of zombies in the second game. You're about to see one of those variations called Fast Zombie, for obvious reasons. In this last segment, you'll see Gordon and a group of humans unsuccessfully try to take out a Strider.
That's all for now. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. I will see you up ahead.
In addition to showing Half-Life 2, we've also been talking about our multiplayer for the first time. So, when Half-Life 2 ships this summer, we'll also have all of our original Half-Life games available on Source. So taking advantage of shaders, physics, new models, and to give you a sense of what it's going to be like to play multiplayer games like TFC or Day of Defeat or Counter-Strike on Source, I'll give you a quick demonstration of Counter-Strike running on Source. For those of you who are Counter-Strike players, this is DE Aztec. That concludes the demonstration. You can also see a different set of demos running over at the ATI booth. I hope you enjoyed this and look forward to having you play it this summer.
Welcome to City 17. Instinct could inflict a fatal injury on our
is Will Wright, W-I-L-L-W-R-I-G-H-T, game designer of EA Max. So, this is The Sims 2. This is actually the neighborhood level. We've made the game a lot more customizable than The Sims 1 was. This is actually a terrain that was generated in SimCity 4. If you choose, you can generate your own neighborhood in SimCity and import it. You can also make multiple neighborhoods. And so this is like a new level of editing that The Sims 1 did not have. Even at this level, I can actually add things like water towers, trees, hot air balloons, ships, and there's behavior. I'll go through the process very quickly of how you create a new sim, because that'll give you some insight into how detailed the sims have become. We're now dealing with a new 3D engine, but at the same time, we've really increased the depth of their personalities. They have long-term memories and aspirations. They can get to very extreme ranges of behavior. In the character creation, I'm going to kind of quickly pop into this. Like The Sims 1, I kind of start. I can pick, male or female. It's much more detailed, though, the process. Here I can pick our hairstyle, coloration, just about anything you can imagine customizing on this character, I can change. You should pretty much reasonably be able to put in anybody you know in this. So these are different face styles that I can go directly to. Or I can pick individual things like the chin and actually kind of modify the chin or the nose, the mouth, eyes, eye color. Even things like makeup. So here's mascara, blush, lipstick color. I could give her glasses, change her eyebrows. If it was a man, I could give him different beard styles. The clothes are now a separate part from this sim. In the original Sims, it was all kind of burned into one thing. Now there's a wide variety of clothing styles that I can pick for her here. These are tops. These are bottoms. This is her normal wear that she'll wear during the day. I can also define her formal wear, what she wears when she wants to dress up. Also her underwear, pajamas, swimwear, athletic. Those can all be defined for the sim. Finally, there's the personality. We have a new thing in The Sims 2, which is aspirations. Each sim kind of has different ambitions in life. What is going to make them happy? How do you have to play them? And sims with different aspirations, you have to play very differently. There are different tactics in the game. So I could give her a family aspiration, or knowledge, or wealth, or maybe romance. Down here, I'm actually picking a personality. And as I pick different personalities, I actually kind of see that, this is a little bit shyer. I actually see her kind of manifesting the personality on screen. This personality is a little bit more kind of grumpy in a way, as you can see. Anyway, I'll just kind of select her right now. So you can go fairly deep into creating a custom sim. I'll make another one here. I can also, if I don't want to go through that whole process, just kind of click and get random sims. And get a sense of the range of styles that I can get out of a sim. Now, there's another way to create a sim. I'll just kind of accept this guy. If I wanted to create a child for these two, I could actually do a different method. I could come in here and I could say, if those two were married, what would their plausible offspring be? And now it's actually using genetics in the game. The genetics both at the appearance level and also at the personality level. So, if they're both grouchy, the kid's likely to be grouchy, or if one's grouchy and the other one's not, the kid's going to get kind of a random reshuffling of their genes. So basically, I'm kind of jumping through random children they could have. This is what he would look like as a child. When he grew up to be a teenager, he would look like this. As an adult, this is what he would look like. And then, as he got older, he would look like that. So I can actually look at how they would appear through their entire age range. That happens to all those Sims now. They actually kind of smoothly age and grow up. And the way you play them changes. Their personality changes. They have different needs and desires as they get older. I'm going to jump out now back into the game. And we're going to go back to the neighborhood. The building mode of the game has also become much more elaborate. We can do a much wider variety of building styles than we can do in The Sims 1. You can kind of actually just kind of look in the buildings that we have here and get some sense of the architectural breadth of the game. And let's zoom out. And then one of these are all basically save games. These are all places I can go and play in the game. Let's see, I think one of these, this one I think has a family in it. We'll zoom into here. So now we're going to load this house. The Sims also have much deeper awareness of what's going on around them. Because it's 3D, we can really zoom in close to them. As you saw in the sim creation, they're much more detailed in appearance, but they also exhibit things like facial expressions and much more subtle body language. So rather than having a lot of graphs that you're having to read to figure out what's going on or what their mood is, you can pretty much look at them and their body language will tell you. So here we are in this household. This is a family, a small family that lives here. They're having kind of like a little party, so they have a lot of guests over. Right now the game is paused. If I unpause the game, Now we see it start moving. So this is the husband that lives in this house. He's in the pool swimming. This is the mother, and she has a small child, and the rest are neighbors and family that are over visiting. I can look at her and see what her aspiration is. It's family, and so this is her little toddler. I can actually have her do different things with him. The original Sims had about 30 social interactions that you could do between the characters. The Sims 2 has about 130. You know, a very detailed level of kind of social interaction between the characters. Right now, she has different needs or wants, you know, based upon her aspirations. So one thing she wants to do is hug her son. Once she accomplishes that, we'll see a new need appear in its place. That's what the spinner is doing here. She also has fears. If there's certain traumatic things that happen to her, they can become phobias later in life and really screw her up. You can, you know, develop a really screwed up Sim psychologically. Now, it's Alex's birthday, so he got a cake. Now, if I have her actually light the candles on the cake, it will actually progress her toddler up to a child. And this is kind of like a major life event for the kid. Right now, she's talking to this guy. I think it's her father. You can actually have multi-generational kind of stories that you're playing out in here. This is her husband. He's kind of a flirt, basically. So she lights the candles here, and the other Sims kind of recognize what's going on, and they're coming over to celebrate his birthday. Have a little party. Let me turn the sound down a bit. Now this is a kind of significant event for him, and so he blows out the candles, and then he'll actually grow up to the next level. And at that point, he becomes a child, and you actually have to play him somewhat deeper. Now, as a child, I can kind of look at, you know, what his needs and wants are, and they're going to be very different than the adults. So I have to play them differently. So every stage of life is almost a different strategy you have to learn, and the different personalities are different strategies. I can look at the husband, for instance. This is Don Baxter. His aspiration is romance, and so I can look at what his wants are. He wants to talk to Dina, who's one of the, I think, the cute neighbor. Well, actually, he's talking to her right now, dancing. I'll have him chat with her a little bit. Right now, they're dancing. Now, depending on how far he goes with this, you know, his wife is likely to kind of notice if she's in the same room. Right now, she's having a conversation with this guy over a birthday cake. But looks like they're hitting it off pretty well here. They're talking about trains or something. Or curvy roads. Curves, that's what they're talking about. So, basically, there's a lot more depth to the personality of the Sim. But yet we tried to make the game such that somebody who has never played The Sims before, they can come in and it looks pretty much like The Sims 1.0. Or if I played The Sims 1.0, I can come in and play it exactly the same way without having to understand the additional complexity. So we want to make sure that the game is still very accessible, even though we're going to, you know, far more detail in all these different directions. It's customizable, and one of the things we want to do with that is we now have the ability to make movies. You can capture movies from within the game. There's a separate camera mode that gives me more of a cinematic camera that I can kind of fly around like a Quake cam and get different kind of zooms and pans and dolly shots. I can give you like a quick example of a movie that was made in the game by by the producer, Lucy Bradshaw. There you go. So this is all captured in-game footage that you just play the game, turn on the movie mode, and this is a very simple story. It's about this kid with all the girlfriends he's had. It gives you some sense of, you know, the different situations, the different socials, you know. And this, you know, was very, you know, it took about an hour to make, you know, just kind of doing this stuff in game, capturing it, putting it together. Now he's growing up to an adult. So The Sims 1 had this storytelling mode where you could capture, you know, screenshots and, you know, write a story. It was kind of like making comic books. And so the difference here is that now the users will be able to actually make movies. And if you look at all the different levels that a player can customize the game in, all the different directions, you know, we had a huge community that built around The Sims 1. Huge amounts of content for the game. And with The Sims 2, we're trying to build an even more vibrant community with more content. And so once we have all that content available, then you'll have a huge amount of resources, you know, props and actors to bring in to make these movies. And then you'll be able to share these movies over the net. So I think people are going to think about this, you know, somewhat differently, more like they're a director in a movie. At every level of the game, even down to like the, you know, the build mode in buy mode. This is the buy mode. All the objects I can pick now, and I can even recolor them, you know, to match styles. I can make collections. When players make custom objects, they can actually transparently appear in my interface without me leaving the game. So we're trying to make the player-to-player pollination of these objects more transparent. So almost any point in the game where we could let the players do more customization, we did. And you know, any place we could make the Sims kind of exhibit deeper, more interesting behavior, we did. Let's see what's he doing now with her. Oh, they're dancing again. Let's have him flirt. This is probably not going to make his wife very happy. Yeah, now he's flirting with her. So his wife actually kind of is having like a little breakdown here. Now, while she's sitting there having a breakdown, we can kind of look at her point of view. Let's see, here we are with her. She's going a little bonkers there. One of the things that actually happens is she has an imaginary therapist that appears. If I select another person, you don't see him. The only person that can see this guy is her. So if I select her, he's visible, but if I select another character, he's invisible. So they can have these neuroses that develop depending on how you play the game. And you know, one thing that people really enjoy doing with the game, with The Sims, is exploring kind of the dark side or all the different failure states. And so we really went to a lot of trouble to add much deeper, more elaborate failure states all around The Sims 2. But that's generally it in a nutshell. We basically took what we thought players liked the most about The Sims 1 and tried to keep it exactly the same, and took the new areas where we thought we had the most opportunity to expand the game and really push that out, both in terms of the simulation and the graphics technology, and hopefully, we'll see just huge amounts of player creativity emerge from that, both in terms of custom objects and in terms of like the movies that they'll make with it.
EA Games.
Challenge everything.
shadow and flame. There will be no dawn for men.
Sauron moves to strike the city of Minas Tirith.
Prepare for battle! Get the women and children out!
Yes, absolutely. A miner is arriving at your settlement. A miner is unhappy because your farms do not produce enough food. A farmer is joining your settlement. You do not have any stones. It's payday. A scholar is starting a job in your village. All your residences are occupied. Yes. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes? Absolutely. Yes. Yes, sir. For the king!
Unreal Engine 3 uses a per-pixel lighting model, which allows for advanced effects like high dynamic range lighting, as you can see on this fountain. Assets in this scene were constructed in 3 steps. First, we build a very detailed high-resolution mesh. Then, we build a low-resolution version of that mesh. Finally, our mesh processing tool then compares the 2 models and stores the difference in a normal map texture. The engine then draws the low-res asset with this normal map, giving the impression that we're displaying its high-poly counterpart in real time. This allows display of immensely detailed worlds at excellent frame rates. The scene you're seeing here is around 1 million polygons of total in-game assets, which came from about 200 million polygons of source art. Now Now we'll take a look at some of the new lighting features in Unreal Engine 3. This light, for example, has a cowling that casts soft shadows on the scene around it. This is accomplished using a light function. In this case, the function takes two cube maps, one very crisp and the other blurred, and interpolates between them based on the distance to a surface. As the light begins to move away from the wall, the shadows will blur before fading out completely. This effect simulates area lighting. Other lighting features included in Unreal Engine 3 are height fog, demonstrated here, and virtual displacement mapping. Using virtual displacement mapping, these bricks appear to have depth, visible sides, and even grout holding them together. As demonstrated in wireframe mode, however, they're constructed from very few polygons. This flickering light is another example of a light function. Light functions allow an artist to assign materials to any light and control how that light displays within the world. In this case, it processes a simple change in brightness. Unreal Engine 3 allows total control over how objects interact with the environment. All of the objects in this scene are physically responsive in some way. They can be picked up and thrown around within the environment. The refrigerator behaves as one would expect it to, demonstrating hinges, independent contents, removable shelves, and constrained drawers. It is also possible to have flexible objects like tubes and cables, or complex hierarchies of bones, such as in a ragdoll model. These physical objects can also have lighting and material effects, and this demonstration shows objects that glow, give off light, and so on. Physical objects cast dynamic shadows as you would expect. With the support knocked out of the way, the entire system collapses, and we can see that the light casts shadow from above as well. Complex materials are the key to next-generation graphics in games. Unreal Engine 3 gives artists complete control over powerful pixel shader 2.0 and 3.0 effects. All materials in this level were created by a level designer and required no programming whatsoever. On the right, we have an iridescent material. On the left, a complex panning material with an emissive channel. Virtual displacement mapping on this cube creates the illusion that the veins on the grill obscure each other. Viewed in wireframe, however, it's clear this detail is in the material and not the mesh. This next object demonstrates frame buffer distortion. As the camera moves around the object, the surrounding scene becomes distorted by the material. The bloom effect on this object is enabled through high dynamic range lighting. The material for the object's emissive channel is multiplied by a high value to exaggerate the effect. Here we have another lighting function, a stained glass environment that is being rotated along the cube. Because it's a light, it both attenuates and shadows realistically. The light projects on the character correctly and also soft shadows the world around him. Let's look at the character detail that can be achieved in Unreal Engine 3. This particular model is about 7,500 polygons for the low-resolution mesh, and about 2 million polygons for the high-resolution mesh. Many of the smaller details in the high-res mesh, like the wrinkles around its mouth and throat, were hand-painted into the normal map. This lets artists add an extra level of detail without having to model it by hand. The wings on this character demonstrate light transmission. The wing material has a mask, which tells it how much light to allow through to the other side. The veins in the wing membrane get darker when they block light from passing through from the other side. This is another example of a high polygon creature. This character is around 8 million polygons for the high-resolution mesh, and about 8,500 for the low. It clearly illustrates the amount of detail possible in Unreal Engine 3 characters, both from in-game polygons and from a normal map. Now let's see some of these characters in action.
suburban punk, just like me.
Hey everyone, welcome to Florida 2004 at E3. Look at this crowd, it is definitely going to be a wild show. We've got over 1,000 never-before-seen games and vendors to show you, over 400 exhibitors, bunches more. This is, as you know, E3's 10th anniversary, and I gotta tell you, every year it gets better and better. Right now we're gonna check in with Oliver, who's in the West Hall.
All right, Stacy, we're here right at the very front of the line, E3 2004. The crowd's behind me. Make some noise, boys. You guys ready to get up inside here? Let us in! Let us in! What do you guys want to see this year, man? What's everybody looking forward to?
Oh, man, it's got to be Metal Gear Solid 3, man.
PlayStation 2 is still hotter than ever, but Xbox's big guns loom big over the show.
Halo 2 is going to be awesome, you know, with the game, the first game how it was, you know it's only going to get better.
Met with rapturous applause at their press event, Nintendo is looking to have the show of its life.
Nintendo's got a great lineup too with the DS, and they got the new Zelda coming out and everything too.
As fast as we can, we're going to show you the hottest stuff that E3 has to offer.
We're going to uncover some hidden gems, and we are going to do the stories that you want to see. So log on and cast your vote for Send an Agent. All right, Stacy, they just rang the bell, and everybody is on their way. E3 2004 is officially started.
So hang on, everyone. You're about to get floored. There's so much to see this year, so we made a beeline for one of the show's hottest games, Unreal Championship 2 from Atari. I'm here with my old pal, Cliffy B. Aw. So tell me, what's going on? What's new with Todd?
We are showing off Unreal Championship 2 here at the Microsoft booth for Xbox. It's Xbox exclusive, and the whole pitch for this game is bring a knife to a gunfight.
Unreal Championship 2 is no PC port. It's being built ground up for the Xbox, taking full advantage of the console's powerhouse visuals.
You have guys who have swords, you have guys who have staffs, you have guys who use their fists against guys with rocket launchers and insane, energy weapons.
Atari has taken a major cue from the blockbuster Grand Theft Auto series, which successfully fused driving with shooting with absolute mayhem. Unreal Championship 2 welds together fighting and shooting, delivering incredible Xbox action.
You look at Unreal Championship 2, it has, ranged weapons from rocket launchers, and then it has melee weapons. So you see this kind of Unreal meets Soul Calibur gameplay. We decided that, a lot of other games are going with the whole Halo route, they're doing the vehicles. We're famous for zigging when other companies zag.
Atari and Cliffy B, expert video game designer and professional zagger, hopes to have Unreal Championship 2 in stores by this holiday season. E3 2004 opened with ESA President Doug Lowenstein giving us the lowdown on the state of the industry. Interactive entertainment is big business, even bigger than the movie business. E3 kicked off with some predictions and trends for the industry. ESA President Doug Lowenstein looks ahead.
I see a trend toward more community-based gaming.
Every year, game makers try to grab gamers with new innovations.
Games are going to get even more realistic and sound better than they do today in the next decade.
Midway is taking the fight online with Mortal Kombat Deception for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. See if Oliver gets a black eye.
The violent and popular fighting series Mortal Kombat finally goes live with the release of Mortal Kombat Deception for the PS2 and Xbox. Co-creator Ed Boon says there are 24 playable characters, and
we have 4 different modes of play, which we've never done in a Mortal Kombat game. We have a puzzle game, a board game, a single-player adventure game, as well as online on both PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
Are the fatalities in this one also going to be background specific?
A lot of the backgrounds have fatalities specific to them, and they're actually used in the fight, so it's a certain area of the background that you knock your opponent into.
With all of the new features, including hidden characters, multiple fatalities, breakaway levels, and destructible environments, Mortal Kombat Deception is one fighting game that will definitely hurt them more than it hurts you.
Only a few hours into the expo, and gamers are already running to see gorgeous hybrid fighters and shooters, witness the unveiling of the online Mortal Kombat, and get their mitts on the new handhelds from Nintendo and Sony. E3 is at top speed, and Floored will keep you on top of all the spectacles and surprises.
You're a suburban punk, just like me.
This show is huge, almost as huge as Microsoft Xbox exclusive Halo 2. The original Halo defined the Xbox launch in 2001 and sold millions worldwide. 3 years later, the Master Chief is back in the saddle, blasting the Covenant in one of the biggest games of the show, Microsoft's Halo 2. Halo 2 is only being shown at exclusive appointments, but Floored RSVP'd a seat just for you. One of the hottest games being shown this year at E3 is Halo 2, which isn't going to be released until November 9th. But we had to get you through 3 separate doors, security, everything to get you into this very room to show you a sneak peek. Take a look.
A little background here. The year is 2552, and after a long, hard fight, the human outer colonies have fallen to the Covenant.
Halo 2's hottest feature, though, is online play, shown for the first time at E3, allowing gamers to jack into Xbox Live and duke it out with explosive weapons and a garage full of sci-fi vehicles. Halo 2 touches down in only 6 short months, and with millions of Halo fans lining up to take you down online, you'd better use the time to practice. Oliver takes the red pill and jacks into the Matrix at Sega's bombshell online announcement.
Sega has dropped a bombshell on gamers with its unveiling of a new way to play one of your favorite franchises. Partnering with Warner Brothers, Sega will unleash the all-new, massively multiplayer online role-playing experience, The Matrix Online. And here's a look at what you can expect.
The 4th installment to the PC, taking off after the last movie has ended, and players get the chance to control the Matrix and let them write their own destiny within the Matrix.
And what makes this online playing experience different from the competition?
It has the wire-fu gameplay, it has all the special effects that people love from the movie, and the fact that you get to control the destiny of the mythology and be able to have an active participation in that is a never-before-seen thing in games.
With Super Brawls and boasting one of the largest playable game environments to ever exist, gamers will have a hard time unplugging themselves from The Matrix Online this November.
You want to see the entire West Hall? You want to see it in 15 seconds? Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Not your usual way into the E3 Expo Pavilion, the U.S. Army made a dramatic entry, dropping in via a Black Hawk helicopter. The Special Forces team are here to promote America's Army, the official U.S. Army game. Gamers are lining up for a sneak peek at Valve's gorgeous Half-Life 2, and Oliver's got the scoop.
Half-Life 2 is one of the show's hottest tickets, with gamers waiting in long lines just to sneak a peek of gameplay footage in an exclusive Half-Life 2 theater. Inside the darkened theater, gamers oohed and ahed to the anticipated first-person shooter in motion, showing off Valve's incredible graphics engine, which produces some of the best PC visuals yet.
We're showing Half-Life 2 again, and everybody's very excited. They're saying this is great. That's our big focus, getting it out this summer. The biggest problem was that we bit off more than we could chew.
So with the release nailed down, we asked Mr. Newell about last year's hack attack that set development back.
Some people broke into our network, downloaded the source code, and distributed it on the internet. That was very demoralizing for us.
Half-Life 2 has only been confirmed for the PC. However, console gamers don't need to go computer shopping yet.
Yeah, right now we're planning on doing an Xbox version. As far as anything else, we'll have to see.
So that wraps up this episode of Floored, but coming up next, we're going to give you a tour of Microsoft's mammoth booth, and you're going to get to look at Ubisoft's outrageous lineup. Stick around, you're going to get floored.
You're a suburban punk, just like me.
And now it is time for the much anticipated RPG. This is your sneak peek of Fable.
Fable is so cool because everything that you do determines a lot of other things in the game. For instance, you walk around, you talk to somebody, you treat them nice, they'll treat you nice back. You can do lewd comments to people and they will actually say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that he did that to me. Everything that you do, every quest that you take can determine whether you're good or evil.
Will you do unto others or indulge your dark side?
You can grow taller, dozens of different weapons, tattoos. So many great things about this game. How you play determines what you look like. You'll actually grow horns if you're evil. You'll grow a halo if you're good, depending on what quests you take and how you participate in that quest.
Long in development, Fable is almost ready for release this year on Xbox. Let's see if you can keep your dark side in check. Acclaim is turning to comics for inspiration for its latest epic, Red Star.
I know what you guys are thinking. What's new? It's another comic book turned into a video game, but check the Red Star out. The X-Men, Spider-Man, and the Hulk. Just a few examples of superheroes powering their way into your favorite systems. But there's always room for one more. What's the premise of the Red Star comic series?
Premise of the Red Star comic series, it's a bunch of soldiers fighting for the United Republics of the Red Star, a totalitarian empire that they realize is corrupt.
And how does Red Star recreate the action of the comic book series?
We really wanted to bring the hardcore into the mainstream. So there's also, for all you fans of Double Dragon, Final Fight, those kinds of games, it's that kind of brawl. It's really up close and personal, very fast action. Like I said, arcade-style gameplay, so when you can pick it up and go.
Everyone loves classic old-school action games with cooperative gameplay and explosive graphics. The Red Star by Acclaim looks to bring this exciting comic book series to life on your PS2 and Xbox this September.
Hundreds of gamers are piling into Microsoft's booth to see the hottest games for Xbox. Microsoft is concentrating its South Hall booth on the Xbox exclusively. And with over 100 game stations, software is king at Microsoft. I'm here with David Hufford of Microsoft, who's going to tell us about all the big announcements at the press conference this week. Where do we start?
Let's start with EA on Xbox Live. I mean, we're going to have all the great EA games on the Xbox Live service starting this summer with the NCAA football title. So, you know, people can get up online, they can wear the headsets, they can trash talk each other, find their friends easily. It's a huge coup for us, so we're really excited about it. It's going to grow the Xbox Live community exponentially.
Some of the booth's biggest games are Unreal Championship 2, Fable, and Halo 2. But Microsoft has plenty more for Xbox fans.
Well, we've got more than 170 game stations out here, and as you can see, the booth is designed to really wow people from the moment they walk in.
That's over 170 chances to get your thumbs on these incredible Xbox games.
This is about games, man. We wanted it to be a great games environment.
Ubisoft is going to war this year on several fronts, and we saw them all at their booth. When it comes to military gaming, Ubisoft is bringing out the big guns. Literally. So big announcements for Ubisoft. Let's talk about, what do we got? Ghost Recon 2.
Ghost Recon 2 is the sequel to one of the biggest brands we have. Ghost Recon is a million-selling game. And Ghost Recon 2, coming out in November, is going to be huge for us. It's one of our key brands here at the show.
Brothers in Arms?
Brothers in Arms is Ubisoft's entry into the World War II genre. It's developed by a group down in Texas called Gearbox, and it really captures the emotions of the soldiers as they go through these experiences together. It's something that hasn't been captured in a World War II game before, and it's our biggest new brand this year.
Okay, and what about Prince of Persia 2?
This year we see a darker, meaner, tougher Prince. He's a little older now. He's a little more worldly. He has 2 swords and armor, and he's much more aggressive than he was in the first one.
And now it's time to make your big announcement that everybody's been waiting for. What is it?
We're very pleased to announce that Splinter Cell 3 is going to be out for Christmas. Splinter Cell 3 raises the bar higher than people thought it could go. And just as Splinter Cell 1 revolutionized the stealth genre by the way it used lighting,
Splinter Cell 3 and the graphics in that game are beyond what anyone else is showing at the entire E3 show.
Get ready to drop into enemy territory this holiday season. Ubisoft! Well, that wraps up day one here at E3, but keep checking back in to see even more big games like Metal Gear Solid 3 and Star Wars Battlefront. You got 2 more days to get floored.
You're a suburban punk, just like me.
Day 2 of E3 2004 is underway and Florida is back in action, showing you the hottest games like EverQuest 2.
Fans of online role-playing games can rejoice with the imminent release of EverQuest 2.
Well, we're going to have all the playable races that you had in EverQuest 1, plus we're adding a new race called the Rotanga. We also have some of the old stuff that you've expected in EverQuest 1, but it's been changed. There's been an apocalypse, there's been a cataclysm. There's this event called the Shattering, where the moon has exploded, rained down on the earth below, or on the land of Norath below.
Choosing from 16 different races, 48 classes, hundreds of creatures, and thousands of new items and spells, who doesn't want to dive right in? Now, if you can't wait until its release, John gives us more insight on how you can start adventuring early.
We are excited about getting into beta. We have announced our registration for that at www.everquest2, that's number 2.com.
All right, so we just got out of there, man. EverQuest 2 looks to be sick. We didn't get a date, but I'm sure it's going to be coming up soon. We can't wait.
Sega's booth spotlights sports, anime heroes, and an iToy title that let me really get into the game. Sega is more than just Sonic the Hedgehog. The gaming giant is storming E3 with its exciting mix of sports and hardcore entertainment games. Sports games are huge this year at E3, and right now it's time to check out some of Sega and ESPN's hot new titles. Oh, dribble. Me. Shoot! She scores! Sports are obviously a big theme here at E3 2004. Nobody has a connection to ESPN like Sega.
When you sit down and play one of our games, you're going to feel like you're watching an ESPN broadcast.
Sega has every sport covered from hockey to hoops, but is really proud of its online pigskin game, ESPN NFL 2005.
Visuals this year in NFL are just unmatched. It's one thing we focus with each of our titles is to make the games look real.
Sega's not just about sports, of course, it's about entertainment too. Astro Boy is based on the classic Japanese cartoon starring the Metal Boy with superpowers controlled by a human brain. And Sega makes you the star of the game in Sega Superstars.
Sega Superstars is an exciting way to revitalize our classic franchises. We're using the iToy, Sony's new peripheral, and we are creating a bunch of new mini-games that allow you to play with Sonic the Hedgehog, Knights, House of the Dead, Crazy Taxi.
It looks so fun. I just had to get a piece of the action. Sorry, Sonic. Electronic Arts, Microsoft, IDOS, and THQ are showing off the big games in the South Hall. But we took the express tour. Here's the South Hall in 15 seconds. Ready, set, go! Metal Gear Solid 3 is big at E3, but Solid Snake had plenty of company at the Konami booth.
Snakes, wrestlers, monsters? I'd better watch out as I venture deep into the bowels of Konami and check out their hot new titles. Rumble Roses is the first ladies-only wrestling title featuring beautiful female models and amazing gameplay. You can change personas and wrestle in the mud, but be careful, these ladies mean business.
All right, so I'm here at the Rumble Roses booth at Konami. Now, you guys remember last year I got in the ring with the backyard wrestler, got roughed up a little bit. Well, now I got some good-looking competition. What's up, girls? What are your names?
My name is Jeannie, a.k.a. Reiko.
And you are, dear?
Lana, a.k.a. Dixie.
And see, what they don't know is I'm their worst nightmare. Ooh. God, I had to get the heck out of that wrestling ring, man. Metal Gear Solid 3. Let's check this out.
Solid Snake is back in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, but this time you'll need more than weapons, traps, and camouflage techniques to survive. You'll also need a fork? Yep, Solid Snake must now eat to survive in his new adventure. Hunting and killing your own food is the biggest addition to the game, and in order to stay focused, you've got to stay full.
All right, so we heard about Metal Gear Solid 3. What else is going on at Konami?
Show off your fancy feet with Dance Dance Revolution Ultra Mix 2, featuring a bigger music library, online tournaments, downloadable songs, and even a workout mode. It's time to turn off the lights and face your worst nightmares when Silent Hill 4 The Room unleashes for your Xbox and PS2. Now you're trapped in your apartment, and all new monsters and spirits are going to try to impede your escape. Explore areas such as a prison, a hotel, and even a forest. Get ready to get scared when you try to escape The Room.
What an action-packed display of games coming from Konami. Look for these holiday titles that will keep your gaming skills in check and your appetite for destruction filled.
Astro Boy and Metal Gear, and we're just warming up. Check back later for Star Wars gaming and Nintendo's new DS handheld, only on Floored.
You're a suburban punk, just like me.
We're halfway through day 2 at E3 2004, and Oliver just got his mitts on the new Nintendo DS.
You've all seen the Nintendo DS in our press conference coverage, but seeing the system isn't good enough. We're about to floor you with in-depth coverage of the games that are going to hit one of the hottest new handhelds ever created.
This is DS Metroid Prime Hunters, and what's really cool about it is it takes the Metroid franchise and it moves it into a 3D multiplayer game. The bottom screen shows your character, the top screen is showing a map of the area.
Along with Metroid Prime Hunters, the DS is going to give you your Wario picks with the all-new WarioWare Inc.
WarioWare Incorporated DS is another game that's in development for the Nintendo DS, and it takes step. It started out on the Game Boy Advance and then just was released on the Nintendo GameCube, you know, of quick 5-second mini games. It brings it into a new realm with the incorporation of the touch screen.
But it doesn't end there. Nintendo hasn't forgotten its mascot franchise player. There's a new Super Mario Bros. Game in the works, and once again, you'll be in control of Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and Wario as you lick the bad guys in an all-new adventure. How much more do you want? Well, how about Super Mario Kart, PictoChat, and Animal Crossing DS? The Nintendo DS looks to be the one gift that will be going fast this holiday season.
Next, we headed to Infinium Labs to get the lowdown on Phantom. The Nintendo DS and Sony PSP aren't the only new hardware at E3 2004. We take a peek at the latest gaming innovation, Phantom.
The Phantom gaming service is really the first on-demand gaming service that lets you get access to any game anytime from the comfort of your home. We include a piece of hardware, what we call the Phantom Game Receiver, which is some fairly sophisticated technology, but it's designed really to fit into the living room, to connect to the television in a broadband connection, and let you get access to just an enormous library of games from the couch.
Instead of heading to the store to buy games, Phantom downloads them right over your broadband connection. And this Phantom is about to materialize in your living room soon.
We're going to be launching the service on November 18th of this year, and for me that kind of seems like an eternity.
But we've saved the best news for last.
We're going to give the hardware away for free to anybody who signs up for a 2-year service contract, just like a cell phone.
Now I know that all you gamers are excited to find out what games you can access on Phantom, but you gotta wait a little longer. Infinium Labs isn't releasing that info until the beginning of August. Saturday morning cartoons to go are being served up at Majesco's booth.
Now, SpongeBob SquarePants may live in a pineapple under the sea, but he's moving into your pocket this summer in Majesco's new line of Game Boy Advance video cartridges.
We launched with 12 different products, all top properties from Nickelodeon, SpongeBob, to Dora the Explorer, to Cartoon Network, to Sonic.
Majesco's exclusive technology can push 45 minutes of Saturday morning fun on a single Game Boy Advance cartridge. But Majesco has even bigger plans.
We'll be introducing feature-length content in time for the holidays, and that's up to 90 minutes.
And Majesco has even more plans to pimp out the Game Boy Advance. This fall, get ready to chat it up with Majesco's new wireless GBA Messenger.
It just functions like a kind of AOL chat between two Game Boys. Has a range up to 3 miles in like open areas and about up to a mile in the city.
These SpongeBob videos are going faster than the Krusty Krab's Krabby Patties, so you better snag one now.
Finally, Oliver got a sneak peek at LucasArts' new Star Wars game, Battlefront.
All right, Stacy, I'm here. I'm at the LucasArts booth, and we're going to take a look at Star Wars Battlefront.
We set out to make the definitive Star Wars game. You can play any side, you can play any soldier, you can drive any vehicle. Our motto kind of was, if you saw it in the movies, you should be able to play it in the game.
And that's all of the movies, including the upcoming super secret Episode 3, which LucasArts is tight-lipped about. Instead, they're showing off intense online gameplay.
We have 16-player online support for PlayStation 2 and Xbox. We have 32 players for the PC, all with voice communication.
That's right, you can talk smack and dish out Darth Vader-style justice on the Star Wars universe's most deserving targets. Battlefront joins LucasArts' other Star Wars game, Republic Commando, on shelves this fall.
We've still got one more Florida on the way today, so stick around for more amazing games from E3 2004.
You're a suburban punk, just like me.
It's the end of day 2, and the E3 buzz continues, especially around Doom 3 for Microsoft.
All right, guys, it is finally here, the third chapter in the Doom franchise, and stick tight, I'm going to get you the scoop. Tell me what's new and exciting about this chapter in the Doom series.
Well, what we've got here is Doom 3 Xbox, which is completely exciting for us. We're wrapping up Doom 3 on the PC. It's going to be out this summer. We've got an entirely new graphics rendering paradigm that John Carmack has created. It creates a world of just deep atmosphere.
And if you think bloodthirsty demons from Mars look scary, wait until you hear them.
We have just an unbelievable sound design, 6-channel surround. It encapsulates you, makes you got demons coming up from behind you, little whisperings off in the distance. Just terrifying, terrifying gameplay. We're really trying to make the living room the scariest place in your house.
Doom 3 for the Xbox follows the PC version this summer, and it promises to live up to all the hype.
He's big, he's hot, and now he's immortalized in video game. Take a look at Vin Diesel in the Chronicles of Riddick. Do movies influence games, or do games influence movies? Well, you get to decide. Take a look at Vin Diesel's anti-hero. Here's Riddick.
What's hell without a little fire?
Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay is a game based off the mythology from the Riddick universe, which consists of Pitch Black, the film from 2000, as well as the Chronicles of Riddick movie that comes out June 11th. What that means to the gamer at home who plays the game, the experience he sees in the game will sync up and match nicely with both the original movie and the sequel.
What about the influence of the actual film, Pitch Black, or the upcoming Chronicles of Riddick? What influence has that had on the game?
We took most of our influences from both the character of Riddick, and he's played in the game literally by Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel was at E3 to hype Riddick.
Vin is an avid gamer. He loves video games. He can't stop talking about them. So he's a natural to be in a game.
Riddick surely won't be Vin Diesel's last game appearance either. He has his own studio, Tygon, that is actively producing new games. Riddick lands exclusively on Xbox on June 1st. At E3, it's tough to create a booth that's really different. But check out this one. We trucked over to Atari's booth to get our hands on Transformers, Driver 3, and Terminator 3 Redemption. But imagine our surprise when we got there. No games. Okay, believe it or not, I'm actually sitting in the Atari booth. Last year we walked in, we were inundated with multimedia. This year, we've got a bar, we've got bartenders, we've got waitresses, we've got a DJ, and we've got Wim Stocks of Atari who's going to tell us what's going on here.
This is unusual for us. We've never really had quite a space like this. The last couple years, we've felt that the noise and distraction and the overall dilution of messages has caused us to step away from a traditional approach.
You guys are actually showing no game demos. There are no game demos here.
We are showing, in front of getting into the space, we're actually showing Driver 3, which is our big release coming in the latter part of June.
Instead of games, Atari was showing off artwork inspired by their classic logo and custom consoles like this 50-cent designed PS2.
We've felt that this is a far more productive use of the space, far more productive use of our time and energy, and every one of our partners who's been here to see us thinks it's just the greatest departure.
And I had a hard time departing from Atari's hip E3 paradise. Who else would we send to this one but Oliver? Oliver, you behave.
If you think you've got what it takes to be successful with the ladies, then Playboy the Mansion is your ticket into centerfold heaven.
Oh yeah, done with work, time for some after-hours entertainment. Hey ladies, what's going on? How y'all doing today?
Whoa, you are not allowed to touch us.
Touch? I didn't touch anybody. What are you talking about? I swear to God, I didn't touch anybody. What's the deal? Whoa, whoa, whoa!
This game rocks. In this game, you are Hugh Hefner. You actually control him, move him around with a controller. You build the Playboy Mansion. You get to design it the way you want it to be. You can either build the actual mansion or your own mansion. While you're building that mansion, you're doing it so it can be the best place to party.
Playboy the Mansion boasts a fully 3D environment, including multiple Playboy estate areas, hundreds of celebrities like Carmen Electra herself, and the ability to play over a dozen different campaigns. So get ready to rub shoulders with the elite and live the Playboy lifestyle. You'll have your hands full with fame, wealth, and lots of bunnies.
Ready for another booth tour? These guys have a lot to show. Here's Oliver doing Nintendo.
Nintendo is giving you even more reasons to lock yourself in your room. We're going to take a look at some of the big and's hottest new action and RPG titles for the GameCube.
What do we have here? This is a big favorite of mine, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. This is a follow-up of one of the games of the year from 2003, Metroid Prime. This takes Samus on a whole new adventure. She also has new weaponry, new items, as well as some classic items from earlier Metroid games. There's a 4-player mode. This is something the fans asked for in the last game, and really this year Nintendo is giving the gamers what they want.
That's a great idea for a game, Little Italian Plumber Guy. When did you guys come up with that?
I know, it's really wild. This is our new role-playing adventure for Mario called Paper Mario 2. But this is a role-playing game that is more of an action role-playing game. In this one, you actually have to time your hits. And so there's a little action and skill involved in all the battles.
But don't think Nintendo is settling on just using your skills with a controller. You're also going to be tested with your skills on the Congo?
This is our new rhythm game called Donkey Konga. It's going to be great fun. It's for the Nintendo GameCube exclusively. It's coming out September 27th. It uses over 30 popular songs, and it comes packaged with a special DK bongo.
With the addition of Resident Evil 4, Pikmin 2, and an all-new Star Fox, Nintendo is definitely letting everyone know that the GameCube is one system you don't want to mess with.
Woo! Day 2 over already. My dogs are killing me. I gotta tell you, I'm having a ball. There's still so much more to see. Make sure you check back tomorrow. You've got one more day to get floored.
You're a suburban punk, just like me.
You asked for it, so we're gonna deliver. Thanks for responding to Send an Agent. For the first time, Blizzard's World of Warcraft is entering into the massive multiplayer online role-playing game genre. Take a look.
It's an opportunity to see
familiar Warcraft units up close. You play with the Horde or an Alliance, the Orcs, the Dwarves, the Night Elves, the Undead. It offers 9 different classes, 8 different races. You're playing online with thousands of other people. It's real easy to jump into, real fun.
Keep voting on Send an Agent and we'll get you floored. Now, NCSoft, known for its diverse online entertainment, has a bunch of new games to show off.
NCSoft is going to blow you away with some of the coolest titles to hit your PC. Ultima creator Richard Garriott gives gamers an all-new original world with Tabula Rasa.
Tabula Rasa is a game we're trying to make for people who don't have hours and hours of time to play, so they can get in quickly, find their friends, and go on missions that are really more focused like a single-player game than you would find in a most massively multiplayer game.
Get ready to immerse yourself in this richly detailed world where you'll fight unique alien creatures, use music and mind scrolls as weapons, and play in a world that's part Star Wars, part Matrix, and part Crouching Tiger. NCSoft is shooting for a winter release. Along with that massive upcoming release, senior developer Ryan Seabury breaks down the car-wrecking smashfest Auto Assault.
Auto Assault is the world's first post-apocalyptic, massively multiplayer vehicular combat game. The big key features of it are obviously the vehicular combat, very fast-paced action, and fully destructible environments. We're using the Havoc 2 physics engine, and so everything you see out in the world you can pretty much blow up.
And the online action doesn't stop there. Another hot new title is the much-anticipated Guild Wars.
Guild Wars is a competitive online role-playing game. And what I mean by competitive is not necessarily just player versus player. What it means is that it's a game of player skill. In Guild Wars, you go where you want to go immediately. You don't have to travel across thousands of miles of virtual terrain to get where you want to go. You find your friends, you click where they are, you go there immediately, you're in the game and you're playing it.
So whether you're hungering for online role-playing action or the chance to experience some extreme road rage, NCSoft is making sure you're going to have a good time in their virtual world.
Namco's been in the play business for more than 50 years. Let's see what's new for this one. Namco's best-selling franchises are making their debut here at E3. So if you thought you'd seen the last of Ace Combat and Dead to Rights, think again.
Ace Combat 5, we got improved graphics, a bigger story mode, a bigger campaign mode, a lot more missions, a lot more planes, and we've got CG movies to tell you a great story.
Look for Ace Combat 5 this fall. Now we take you from the blue skies above to the blacktop streets below.
Dead to Rights 2 is the return of Jack Slate and his canine companion, Shadow. Jack will have the ability to use all different types of mechanics at the same time. That's the slow motion dive. We'll have 13 different disarms. We've got up to 30 different weapons, including real-life submachine guns, everything from an MP5 down to a Colt 45 pistol to melee weapons. We've got an entirely new melee fighting system, along with a combo hand-to-hand fighting system as well.
Don't worry, RPG fans. Namco has you covered with Xenosaga Episode 2 and the anticipated Tales of Symphonia.
Tales of Symphonia is our latest game for the GameCube platform. It's a departure from the regular Tales series that we've had in the past because it's turned from 2D to 3D.
Tales of Symphonia's complete real-time 3D battle system features hundreds of special attacks, combos, and spells. With a ton of high-quality anime cutscenes, dozens of mini-games, and side quests, this is one big RPG. So no matter whether you're an action or RPG fan, Namco has you covered with these highly anticipated sequels. I don't know about you guys, but my biggest fear is being submersed in a tub of bugs. Obviously not a fear of Oliver's. What's your fear factor?
Oliver here, I'm at the Rush Entertainment booth. Now while you might not know that name, I'm sure you know this one.
If you're too scared to stick your hand in a giant tank of cockroaches, then Fear Factor Unleashed will let you confront your biggest fears on the PC and console. There's no game footage available yet, but we've got the scoop on what to expect.
It's really extreme sports action. I mean, that's type of it. It's going in and challenging the people that you're playing with, either in your living room or on your PC. There's going to be a full scoring system. There's going to be the puke-o-meter, which is going to measure the amount of puke that's coming out of you.
Look for Fear Factor Unleashed this fall, and let's hope you have nerves of steel like I do.
Day 3 of E3 2004 is just getting started, so stick around. We've got Sony and EA booth tours and a whole bunch more.
suburban punk, just like me.
There's only a few hours left of E3 2004, so why don't we check out some family-friendly games? Here at the Buena Vista booth, we've got big news for fans of Tron, people who love Tim Burton, and girls who like to game. So excuse me while I take this phone call. Ugh. Hello? It's time to take a sneak peek at Tron 2.0, its first Xbox Live release. I'm here with the producer, Cliff. Tell me what this means for you.
Well, it means that Tron's going to be on Xbox Live, and that's really exciting. We're taking an award-winning PC game and blowing it out on multiplayer for Xbox Live. We've got new multiplayer content, new weapons, cool new skins, and best of all, you have the ability to take your light cycle anywhere on the map and res it in.
Okay, you saw Tron 2.0 for the Xbox Live. Now it's time to see the release that's coming out for Game Boy Advance. Mike, walk us through it.
Tron 2.0 Killer App for the Game Boy Advance is an incredible game. Basically what it does is it really bridges the storyline between the film and the Xbox Live title. Throughout the storyline, you're going to be playing as either character, so you can play as either character with a completely unique storyline for both, and they're going to be trying to take down this virus called the Corruptor, who's trying to take over and destroy the system.
Okay, another hot Buena Vista title that I can't wait to play is The Nightmare Before Christmas. It looks really cool.
Yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas, The Pumpkin King is a really cool new GBA game that's coming out this fall, and basically it acts as a prequel of sorts to the film that was originally created by Tim Burton. So throughout playing the game, you're going to learn how Jack Skellington became the king of Halloween Town.
Buena Vista recognizes that girls like to game too. We've got Kim Possible, That's So Raven, Lizzie McGuire, the list goes on. We're going to start with Kim Possible 2. Tell us a little bit about all the gadgetry going on here.
Well, Kim Possible 2 is all about gadgets because it starts out every episode. Wade's always stuffed some new gadget into Kim's backpack for each mission. So we've got them all here. We've got the grappling hook, rocket rollerblades, Blue Bomb lipstick.
We also checked out That's So Raven, based on the Disney Channel original series.
Each level begins with Raven receiving a psychic vision that kind of sets up her objectives, where she can actually swing her purse or spray perfume on other people to make them sneeze and get distracted.
Her swing in action? That is so Raven.
Okay, comrades. Now we will step to the other side of the world and check out Stalker.
One of the features which really makes the game stand out is the life simulation, we call it. This is about non-scripted AI characters, which means like every single creature, monster, NPC have their own reasons to be there.
And your reason for being there? How about a giant field of battle, a range of vehicles from a car to a helicopter, over 12 weapons which can be modified, and knowing which pieces of equipment you need to carry to survive?
You're just an element, you're just a part of it. It's basically changing the standard gameplay experience for first-person shooter.
And that's just scratching the surface. Keep your eyes and ears open for Stalker sometime this winter.
Ever listen to your favorite song and think to yourself, if I had written it, I would have done it a little different? Well, now you've got the chance.
MTV Music Generator 3 puts you in the DJ seat, unlocking the tools to making the hottest club mixes of your favorite songs.
You can take an audio CD of your own collection, shove it in the PS2, grab a chunk of sound, and then mix that up with Outcast. So this screen, you can actually go in and manipulate the samples. You've got the waveform for the sample here, so.
In addition to supplying 3,000 samples to play with, publisher Codemasters is using its MTV license to the fullest.
And MTV brought Snoop and Outkast, Sean Paul and Fabulous to the table.
Dan showed me just how to unleash my inner Andre 3000.
This is where you build your track. Each one of these blocks is a piece of sound. That's it. You can take Outkast, which is like quite a laid-back kind of groove, and then add some pretty hard samples to it to really change the feel, and it works.
I'm no Fatboy Slim yet, but thanks to MTV Music Generator, I'm on my way.
Most of us don't even remember games back then, but they've been at it since 1979. We sent Oliver over to Activision to see what they've been up to in 2004.
Activision has been in the business longer than most players at E3, so we stopped by to check out the secret of their success.
We're here celebrating our 25th anniversary of Activision. We have a heritage of providing AAA games, from games like Pitfall 25 years ago to what we're coming out with on June 29th, which is Spider-Man 2.
Activision's first next-gen Spider-Man was a blockbuster, but we wanted to know more about the web-slinger's new free-roaming gameplay.
Unlike a lot of games out there that are free roaming in a horizontal sense, this game is free roaming horizontally and vertically. So the entire city of Manhattan is mapped out for you.
Spider-Man 2 isn't Activision's only movie game. Also in the works are games based on Lemony Snicket and Shark Tales.
This is based on the new upcoming DreamWorks film of the same name. It's about a little fish with some big dreams of being famous. And it takes place in Reef City, which is a fishified New York.
Activision and Marvel are bringing Wolverine back to the game space with the new adventure, X-Men Legends.
We're taking the X-Men in an entirely new direction. This is the first action role-playing game where players get to experience superheroes throughout an epic storyline, upgrading their powers along the way. With 15 playable X-Men throughout the course of the game, the player's always getting a totally new experience every mission they go on.
Finally, we got drafted at Activision's World War II shooter, Call of Duty.
All right, Scott, tell me why I'm sitting in this Jeep. What's this thing doing here?
Well, this is here for Call of Duty Finest Hour, which is an altogether new game in the Call of Duty series, built especially from the ground up for the consoles. We drop you right into the heart of combat to experience the cinematic intensity, chaos of battle, and epic moments of World War II. We take you to Russia, North Africa, Western Europe.
With incredible games like these on tap, we predict Activision will be celebrating its 50th anniversary in grand style.
Well, there are only a few hours left of E3 2004. I'm a little sad, but we do have some great stuff coming up for you, so check back in our next show. We've got EA and Sony booth tours, and we also have a special wish that comes true. Stick around, you don't want to miss it.
You're a suburban punk, just like me.
We're around in the last lap of Florida, and I thought I would share some interesting Florida statistics with you. 9 shows, nearly 40 segments, over 100 interviews, and 5 blisters. Here's where I got one of mine. It's the Sony booth tour. Sony is giving gamers more than they can handle this year. We've got footage of action sequels, and best of all, the exciting new handheld called the PSP. This fall, Jak 3 wraps up the Jak and Dexter trilogy by throwing you in the middle of a barren wasteland. Jak will have an arsenal of new weapons, upgradable mods, and vehicles at his disposal. With realistic ragdoll physics, you can switch between Light Jak and Dark Jak to finish off your enemies for good. Another sneak peek from Sony is Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal. I'm here with Ted Price, who's the president of Insomniac, who's going to tell us a little bit about the game.
This is actually the first online action platformer for the PlayStation 2.
So what's going to be different about this online experience?
We're also offering a whole bunch of features that you would expect to see from a dedicated online game, such as clans, buddy lists, stat tracking, password-protected games, cheat protection, all the things that online consumers expect.
Consumers can also expect up to 20 weapons with up to 4 levels of upgrades, new high-tech gadgets, new vehicles like the Turbo Slider and Hover Ship, and hours of gaming bliss. All right, we made it to Sony PSP. We're about to go in, but I seem to have hit a little bit of a roadblock. We've got black rope and security. Are we allowed in? Can we go check it out?
Well, you know, okay, just for you.
Ah, yes, we're in. Let's do it. So we made it past security. We made it into the Sony PSP area. We're finally going to get our hands on, show you the PSP. Tell me about it.
We're very excited to have the worldwide debut of the PSP this year at E3.
So why would gamers choose the PSP over the newest crop of handhelds?
What we're really excited about is that I think this is a great fusion of what Sony does incredibly well. Games, music, and movies.
What titles are going to be available?
We haven't announced our complete lineup, but at our press conference on Tuesday, EA announced that they were going to support it with about 4 titles at launch.
There's no price or set release date just yet, but with the PSP boasting a 16:9 widescreen LCD, built-in stereo speakers, and close to PlayStation 2 graphics, the other handhelds will have to compete with what looks to be a portable powerhouse. Wow, Sony seems to be on a monstrous roll. But that's not all. They're dropping even more hits like Sly Cooper 2, Gran Turismo 4, and Hot Shots 4. It looks like Sony brought out the big guns for the upcoming year.
All right, so we showed you guys a sneak peek of the new Conquer Live and Reloaded from Microsoft's press conference, and you wanted more. So per your send an agent request, here's more of the multiplayer Conquer.
The game is actually going to be like 2 games in 1. So on one side is a 16 players class-based team multiplayer game, and on the other side is a totally redone version of Conquer Bad Fur Day.
Eugene showed off a fierce deathmatch game between tribes of bloodthirsty squirrels all bent on world domination, and you can satisfy your inner mammal this fall on Xbox Live.
This is E3's 3rd year participating in the Make-A-Wish Foundation program. Kids from all across the United States who wish to come to E3, get on the gaming floor, play some games. We actually make it happen.
For the 3rd year in a row, we've welcomed the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We sponsor 3 children each year who wish to come to E3.
As we made our way into the show, I got the chance to know Caleb and Andrew, who both have life-threatening illnesses.
Said I wanted to go to E3. So I always wanted to come. I love games and stuff, so it's kind of a big wish.
But before we get to the games, we wanted to learn a little more about Caleb and Andrew.
You want to talk a little bit about your illness?
Sure. I've got cystic fibrosis, and it kind of affects my lungs, my stomach, my digestive system. Kind of going through a tough spot right now.
Well, I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, a form of bone cancer, in, I believe, October of 2002. And so I went through chemotherapy and did some surgery.
E3 was a great experience for both of them. The first game we got to play was Doom 3, the big game that Caleb really wanted to see.
It was really fun. It was neat to play it. I liked Doom for a long time now, and so finally get to play the new one. I was pretty excited about that.
How was your experience at E3?
It was wicked awesome.
At the end of the show, Caleb and Andrew received their very own Nintendo GameCube and some really cool E3 merchandise.
This is really neat. Thank you. Yeah, this is great.
Caleb and Andrew really had fun at E3, playing their favorite games. A big thanks to E3 and Make-A-Wish for helping these 2 special kids see one of their dreams come true.
And here's where Oliver earned some of his blisters. It's the EA booth tour.
All right, you guys, I'm here. It's the Electronic Arts booth. This is my biggest story yet. There's so much to cover, so let's get started.
All the EA Sports titles for the first time ever, live on Xbox Live and PS2 online. Every one of the products has got a major upgrade, starting with Madden in its 15th year, looks better than ever. All about defense with the new hit stick, defensive hot routes, give you tons of control on the defensive side of the ball. Defense looking good with one-touch control. You can get a lot more control of your offensive and defensive moves.
And what about NASCAR 2005?
You're racing modifieds, trucks, Busch, Nextel Cup, and even production cars like Vipers and Vets through city streets.
But it's more than just sports games that EA offers. With titles like Medal of Honor Pacific Assault, Battlefield 2, and Battlefield Modern Combat, they give you your military fix too.
Medal of Honor Pacific Assault has a brand new engine. We also have dynamic AI. So virtually you can go through a level and not play it the same way twice, and the enemies will respond differently as well.
Battlefield 2 is going to offer, 35 different modern weapon systems, 35 different vehicles, over 30 different modern weapons you can get your hands on. All new squad control. With Battlefield 2, you can actually go in rank from private all the way through general. And as you do so, you unlock new features and privileges inside the gameplay.
Now, when you're all done going to war, you can kick the crap out of your favorite rap star in Def Jam Fight for New York.
This year, we're just trying to deliver the most authentic hip-hop product possible, so we've expanded the artists beyond just Def Jam. We got over 40 artists and celebrities in the game, all of which are playable, all of which are fightable.
For the first time in a Bond game, you get to play the role of the villain in the single and multiplayer sequel, GoldenEye Rogue Agent. Let's go undercover and find out more.
Well, if you love the original gameplay style that was in GoldenEye, you're going to love Rogue Agent. It's really gone back to old school style, run and gun shooting like the original. Fight alongside Pussy Galore, Xenia on the top, Odd Job, Goldfinger, Dr. No, the best villains in the Bond universe. Anyone who's played the original or is into first-person shooters knows that you got to have a strong multiplayer mode. We have split screen, two-way, four-way split screen. We also support online play on the Xbox and PlayStation 2.
Look for GoldenEye to ship this holiday season for all the major consoles. And what's different with the sequel to The Sims?
In Sims 2, the Sims live across a lifetime, so they go from baby to old age. And you're really playing Sims across generations now.
Tolkien fans can rejoice with the newest Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth.
Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth is a real-time strategy game. It'll be out this fall from Electronic Arts. It's all about fighting in the epic battles of all three Peter Jackson films. And you get to play as four different armies and battle all throughout Middle-earth to make sure that you either save Minas Tirith in the land of men, or you bring it down because you can play as the bad guys, the side of Mordor.
What did I tell you? This booth is huge and there was tons to cover. Well, listen, you guys better start saving up your money because there is a lot in store from EA Sports and EA Games.
Yo, what's up? Hey, Ollie.
What are you doing?
Dude, my feet hurt so bad. I've been everywhere. West Hall, South Hall, Concourse.
Yeah, like I haven't. You know what? I think I know what you can do.
What's that? All right, you caught me. But I gotta tell you, we've seen every inch of E3, and man, there's some great stuff out there.
There was some really, really cool stuff out this year. But you know what's really amazing? The handhelds.
And online gaming bigger than ever. My favorite, playing Sega, College Hoops 2005, and being a part of a wish coming true for the kids from Make-A-Wish Foundation.
That was so awesome that you did that, Stacy. Now let's take a look at what some other people enjoyed at E3 this year.
I was just over at EA Games checking out their new Lord of the Rings games that are coming out. Battle of Middle-earth, awesome.
I like to see Doom 3. I like to see Halo 2. I'm into the shooters.
My favorite is Final Fantasy 12.
All right, we know what I like. We know what they like. What'd you like?
I love Dance Dance Revolution.
You were good.
I was okay, but you know what? I saw a ton of games this year.
I bet you did, but you know what, Ollie? There's one thing you didn't see.
These girls don't know what they're in for. What's up? You want a little something? What's up? Oh! All right, you guys, we had an absolute blast. Thank you so much for joining us for the 10th anniversary of E3.
We really appreciate you getting floored with us.
I'm Oliver Najad.
I'm Stacy Barcelata.
And
we'll see you again next year to get floored.
Come on, Tired Girl. Let's
Oh.
go. Come on.
Woo!
Oh.
They got me. Oh, yeah! That was perfect. That was so perfect. That was good. Did you get it?
Press tour. Here's the South Hall in 15 seconds. Ready, set.
Look, no sale, no sale, no sale. Can I get an application? Why you that?
I'll tell you what, I'll bet all my chips against your chips that this hand is better than yours.
Come on, man, I can't believe you'd ask me to do that.
Too much work and no play makes Oliver an unfriendly boy.
Focus.
Two carne asada, right? Swipe. You like that one, huh? Yeah, that was big.
Also wanted to leave you with my phone number.
Get in.
I got floored at E3.
I'll floor you.
I'll floor you.
Okay, so we're here at E3 showing a lot of exclusive game content.
on our new cards, which is the Radeon X800, which we launched just 2 weeks ago and is in stores now, actually. So the X800 is the world's fastest video card for PCs. It's twice as fast as our previous generation. You've seen some of the demos yourself. You've seen what it looks like on games. It's a stunning, stunning achievement. So in developing this card, we essentially doubled up on everything we had in the 9800 XT. And so we've got 16 pipes. We've got full floating point precision in each pipe. We've also increased the clock speeds quite considerably, so it now runs at 520 megahertz on the engine and 1120 on the memory as well. So it's a really screaming fast card. Huge achievement. Over 160 million transistors. It's a big, big chip. Yeah, since we saw you last year, it's been a great year. So last year we entered with the 9800 Pro. So we'd won the performance crown in the PC market, and we've held it ever since. And we're going to hold it now for, certainly this product cycle as well. So we'll be in the position of having been right at the top, on top of everyone else for at least 2 years by the end of this year, which is a fantastic place for us. So that's seen us grow market share. We've really developed a really strong, loyal fan base. But we've done a huge number of announcements in other areas as well. So our notebook graphics now are desktop equivalent. It's amazing now. You really can get desktop performance in a notebook. And also we've launched 3D graphics for cell phones as well. So we've now got a chip in cell phones that's roughly the same performance as a Rage XL, if you remember that. So that's 5 years ago in the PC market, we've now got that running on a cell phone. And we've even got games like MotoGP and Quake actually up and running on a cell phone form factor. One of the things I didn't mention this year, of course, we announced future technology agreements with both Microsoft, Xbox, and Nintendo. So we are the graphics in the next generation consoles for both those manufacturers.
Ruby, it's a pleasure to see you again.
Save it, Optico. Do you have what I want?
Leaving so soon? Again soon, my dear Ruby.
Hi, I'm Bill Raybach from NVIDIA. We're here this year at Electronic Entertainment Expo with, to my knowledge, the largest booth that anybody in the PC industry has ever had. Essentially, NVIDIA is presenting the PC as the ultimate gaming platform, which in some ways could obsolete consoles over the next couple of years. With products like the GeForce 6800 graphics card and our new NForce 3 motherboards, essentially we have system builders and other hardware partners that are making media center PCs and other home theater kind of systems for home theater and playing gaming, that there is no console that can really hold a candle to. In our booth here, we're showing almost 60 games from different software vendors that are really the cream of the crop at the show. So there are over 10 titles in our booth here that are candidates for Game of Show, and this will be likely the second year in a row where PC titles wind up taking Game of Show. There's titles such as the Unreal Engine 3 that are being shown in our theater, as well as Vampire Bloodlines and Far Cry, Call of Duty and other remarkable titles that are just blowing everybody's socks off. So we're really proud of, we're really proud of our content partners. We're very proud of our engineering team for bringing the GeForce 6800 to market with the performance that it has. NVIDIA GeForce 6800 series graphics card is the first graphics card to completely support the Microsoft DirectX 9.0C shader models, which really are great for developers because it allows developers to produce their the kind of detail and subtle skinning and shading and things like that in games far easier than they ever could before, and essentially is, from a development perspective and a software publisher perspective, the way that you're going to see more and more games emulate the kinds of things that you see on movies. So the Unreal Engine 3 demo that's being shown in our booth really shows the performance of the GeForce 6800 and the kinds of high dynamic range lighting that's capable using the card, as well as the Vertex Shader 3 kind of skinning effects and special effects that are going to be coming out in many, many games going into Christmas 2004 and on into 2005.
Yeah, Hawthorne Hill is a concept. We work in Massachusetts, and you probably know about the Salem witch trials. And Judge Hawthorne was one of the most fervent judges in those trials, and put many people to death even. Everywhere this guy went, there seemed to be some kind of supernatural, phenomenons that followed him. All the way even to Amityville, and it's a dark Massachusetts story, and we feel that we somehow tie into that and channel into that with the music that we write.
I like the fact that music is not just kind of one thing. It's kind of touches a little bit of everything. You got some soft stuff, you got some harder stuff, you got some mid-tempo music, and I think there's a little bit for everybody in there.
The songs are really a channel for us to get a lot of things out. You know, a lot of them are really personal, but yet they touch on a lot of things that I think a lot of people can relate to. There's definitely a lot of anger and angst in the music because the world today is just madness, you know, and we feel a lot of that. But really, it's our art and it's our science. It's almost like a religion and therapy to us all the time.
With our music, we can release a lot of anger and a lot of our personal feelings, you know, that we're going through, and I feel like it's a nice outlet for us to kind of just, you know, release whatever problems we have or whatever issues are going through our life at the time.
I think our music is fairly diverse in nature. All of us are from different places in the world, and we all have different musical backgrounds. We all have a singular commonality that we like heavy music, and we like music that certainly is about life and means something to us. So for me, our music is very diverse in nature. There's a little something for everybody in it.
The guys have riffs, the guys have beats, they have ideas, and I get a vibe off those ideas in terms of what I'm going to do. So my thought process, my lyric writing really stems on top of that. If they give me something heavy, that's what I express. If they give me something that's lighter, then I let something out in that way. So it's really symbiotic in the way all of us work. We kind of need each other to do what we do.
All the songs are pretty much started by a riff or an idea, a concept that Dave has, and he comes in with a couple parts. Sometimes he'll come in with 3 or 4 parts, and the process kind of begins. And we lay drum tracks down on it, we lay bass to it, and we kind of feel the vibe of the song and get to really figure out where we're going to take the tune. A lot of our songs all of them actually, are produced by us. So we have multiple runs. We usually end up doing the song several times to actually get where it needs to go. So it's a pretty complex process to get it done, but that's the way that we find best to work.
We're here at E3 to check out the games that are here. We're all big gamers, and we'd like to lend some of our music to some of the music that's some of the different video games that are here, also some soundtracks. And we're just big video game fans also. And that's what we do with a lot of our spare time is we play vids.
I love coming here. I love seeing all the new games, all the booths. You know, the booths are crazy, and I just love being here.
Hi, I'm Paulina Bozek. I'm producer of SingStar. This is Charu. He's a programmer on the team, and we're going to show you a little bit of the game. SingStar is a new singing game for PlayStation. It's actually a competitive singing game, so it can tell you if you're singing in tune and on time. It works by singing into a microphone, and the technology evaluates your voice and can show you right away if you're singing along, when you're singing along to a song, if you're hitting the right notes and holding them for the right amount of time. So it's a multiplayer game. It comes with 2 mics straight out of the package, and it lets you have singing battles with your friends where you're actually singing at the same time but getting individual scores. There's 30 songs on the disc, and all of the music is licensed. So we've got everything from Roy Orbison to Pink, Avril Lavigne, Madonna, The Darkness, Aha. It's a collection of a lot of big popular songs and kind of 60s, 70s, and 80s classics.
Talking away, I don't know what I'm to say, I'll say it anyway. Today's another day to find you shy away. I'll be coming for your love, okay? Take on me, take me on. I'll be gone in a day or two.
So there you go. So we've had a little bit of practice. But yeah, Charu beat me, so she's a superstar. I've got lead singer. And at the end, actually, it's not quite over yet because you can go in and listen to your performance. So there we are. So that's playback, and then you've got a couple of voice effects that you can put on as well, like baby talk. And you can also
save those songs to memory cards. You can save up 8 to 10 songs and share them with your friends.
I'm looking forward to see what Valve's doing here. I'm looking forward to seeing Doom 3 for Xbox.
GT4, Gran Turismo 4.
World of Warcraft, EQ2, Guild Wars. Nintendo made a new announcement about the new mature Zelda title. Really looking forward to that.
Bring Miss Pac-Man back. We need the new Millennium Miss Pac-Man. That's my game.
Half-Life 2, Doom 3, Halo 2,
Final Fantasy 12, and there's a new Advent Children, Final Fantasy 7, and some other title previously just announced called Beyond Crisis Final Fantasy 7 that I can't wait to see.
Stalker, World of Warcraft, Spider-Man 2. To see what LucasArts has coming out. I know they've got a couple of new Star Wars-based games, and these are always high quality.
I don't know. I hope there's a new Tony Hawk game.
Well, I am looking forward to telling everyone about Apocalypse Weekend.
Tron Xbox.
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Halo 2.
Half-Life 2, of course. Doom 3.
There's a new Grand Theft Auto game, looks really great.
Halo 2.
Ghost Recon 2.
Everything they said. That's what I want to look for.
Hi, I'm Dave Fargo Kozak. This is how we style it up here at E3. I'm at the Rome Total War booth at Activision. This is probably the PC game of the show right here. And let me tell you, it is good to be the Emperor. Rome Total War, what it is, a PC strategy game. You're going to control the Roman Empire, right? You're one of 3 families trying to vie for control. What's amazing about this title, the graphics are incredible. You're going to control thousands of troops, historically accurate troops. You can zoom right in, see the armor. These are real, genuine Roman legionnaires. You're going to control them. There's also a grand strategic map. So you'll see a map of Rome. You're going to make the strategic decisions you need to do to run the empire and then actually fight the battles out. You got elephants, chariots, guys climbing ladders. I mean, the fight scenes here, they look like Lord of the Rings movie style. This is Rome Total War. Certainly, it's one of the best strategy games of the show. Follow-up to one of the best strategy games of all time. We're real excited about this one. And I'm excited about the fine ladies here.
Hi, my name is Douglas C. Perry. I'm the editor-in-chief of IGN Xbox, and we're here at the Electronic Arts booth at E3, and I've got a couple great games to show you. Actually, one particular game to show you. It's called Burnout 3, and it's here. Let me just, come on, follow me. All right, so this is the 3rd Burnout in the series. It's certainly one of the best looking games at E3. And what we're going to do is we're going to just show a little bit of racing, show how fast the game goes, and show some fantastic particles, some of the great graphics, and get a real sense of speed. A really good sense of speed. So as you can see here, I'm trying to actually knock these guys out of the way, and I get points for doing that. So it slows down the camera. I'm going to knock all these guys out. Oh, unless I crash first. That's part of the game. You can go across the road. See this guy's trying to hit me? I'm gonna knock this guy out. Knock him out. Come on. Oh! And he got me. You can see why I like this game. It's really fast. It excels in being fast. It's gorgeous. And the crashes are excellent. See? So this is an arcade game. This is not a sim game. It makes no bones about being a super fast arcade game. And everything's been enhanced in this game from the last version. So the crashes are better, the particles are better, the cars break up into more pieces, there's glass and all sorts of things going on. There's several levels in this game. There's actually about 100 junctions, what they're calling them, where you go down and try to crash in as many cars as possible, causing as much damage as possible. This particular one, you can actually put a bomb in your car to explode even more cars. That's how insane it is. There you go. There's a good explosion for you. That's what this game's all about. Going really fast and blowing your car up. So that's it. That's Burnout 3. It's the third in the series. It's developed by Criterion Studios, published by EA. It's going to be out this fall on Xbox and PS2. It's going to be online, and anyone who likes arcade racing games is going to love this thing.
Hey, this is Jeremy Denham, Editor-in-Chief of IGN PS2, and today we're going to take a look at my favorite game of the show, Devil May Cry 3. Let's go. Got to weed through the millions of games here. Capcom's always a popular booth. Almost there. So, Devil May Cry 3. What this game is different this year is that it's, rather than the last game, which was kind of focused on being outdoors and a lot of shooting, this year it's really going back to basics, where it's a lot more confined. But unlike the last game, it's a lot quicker than the first game too. But what really makes it stand out more than anything else is the fact that you can actually customize your Dante. So in the past, where you had one type of Dante who had one set skill of moves, you can actually set it up so that you can make whoever you want. So if you want to focus on defense, you can do that. If you want to focus on offense, you can do that too. There's 4 different classes. You're looking at Royal Guard, which is the defensive class I mentioned. And then you have the Sword Master, which lets you be pretty much a badass with anything that's a blade. Then you have the Gunslinger, which you can see here is my chosen class, where you can shoot anything that moves. And the combo system is a lot more diverse than it used to be also. You can string things together, and it's not in this build, but you can also take certain weapons and switch between them on the fly so that you can go from a sword to another type of blade and so forth. The game this time around is a lot more cinematic too. Not only does it have a brand new graphics engine that was built from the ground up, it has a much more gothic look than the previous 2, which is saying a lot because the previous 2 games were pretty scary and spooky. Also of note is the soundtrack. I love it. It's hardcore with a little bit of a gothic touch, kind of like Castlevania in a way, only a little bit harder edge. As you can see here, as I'm going through this level, I'm fighting all these different guys, and I'm kind of relying on my guns and my far-off abilities to take them out. But if I was using, say, the Trickster class, which is an ability that lets you kind of do a lot of jump moves and physical-based stuff, I could be running on walls and doing other such things. Of course, I can't do that with this build. But anyway, that's Devil May Cry 3. I love this game. It looks like it's going to be really good, and that's my game of the show for E3 2004.
I'm Raymond Padilla, Senior Console Editor at GameSpy.com, and I'm here today at the Square Enix booth to check out Final Fantasy XII, my E3 2004 game of the show. Final Fantasy XII is being developed by the same team that developed the Final Fantasy Tactic games. They bring a lot of old school sensibilities to the series, and a lot of longtime gamers really love it, but because it's the main Final Fantasy series, their gameplay style is going to be exposed to more gamers than ever before. Now in Final Fantasy XII, they're bringing a whole new art style to the game. It's got a lot of really cool muted colors, a Mediterranean kind of architecture, and for gameplay, they're trying a lot of different things. The combat takes place in pseudo-real time, there are no sharp transitions to the environment, and it's all seamless, so everything you see in the environment, that's the stuff you're going to be battling on, which is very different than the combat found in most Final Fantasy games. And of course, like any Final Fantasy game, it's going to have a brilliant story, memorable characters, and fantastic music. It's my game of the show for E3 2004, and I can't wait for it.
Okay, I'm John Hardy. I'm one of the organizers of the annual Classic Gaming Expo show here at E3 to show off, promote our history, archiving video game history, what we do at the show. Response has been fantastic. Kentia Hall is often, you hear birds chirping. We've rocked the house here. We have a huge display, 2 separate areas, arcade and home console, an interactive museum. People can try out the stuff, test it out, see what it was like to play the old systems. Everybody who comes by is fascinated. They're all stopping. I had that, and play a game or two.
My name is Joe Santulli. I'm with the Classic Gaming Expo. So a very brief history of video gaming would go something like this. In 1972, Magnavox releases the very first Odyssey system. The Odyssey was built without a microchip in it. It was designed by the guy who's considered to be the father of video games, Ralph Baer. The system essentially is just a couple of dots on the screen that you control, and there's an overlay that you put over the television set that gives you all the background colors and basic game screens that you need. The first video game system to use cartridges with programmed cartridges in them is the Fairchild Channel F. Fairchild Channel F was manufactured by a camera company. It was kind of new to the game, but thought it might be an interesting thing to get into. The system didn't really succeed because at the time there was no such thing as third-party developers. The Fairchild guys were kind of new to the business. It didn't go anywhere. In fact, the industry really didn't start to pick up until Atari jumped into the game in 1977. In 77, when the Atari VCS was released, gamers got to see a whole new type of game. Programmable video game cartridges, full color. They had arcade games that they could play now at home. And it introduced the very first third-party manufacturers in Activision, who were four guys that split off from Atari to do their own thing, which of course sort of innovated the industry the way we know it today. A few generations later, really, in gaming, they progressed from 8-bit over to 16-bit, but before it got into the 16-bit era, the whole industry had sort of collapsed upon itself when there were way too many manufacturers, game consoles, and games out in the market. People were kind of confused about what to buy. There was a lot of junk out there, and you had computers that were now very affordable kind of taking over, so people could say, well, if I can play a computer or a game system, my computer plays games, I might as well buy that. The industry sort of fell apart at the end of '83 and into '84, where there really wasn't a game console being manufactured in the United States. And it wasn't until '85 when Nintendo brought their very popular in Japan Famicom over to the US, called it the Nintendo Entertainment System, and the entire industry began to revitalize itself. Nintendo dominated the market, as everyone knows, for several years. And in fact, they had overtaken a couple of other 8-bit competitors like Sega, who had just started doing US games. And it wasn't until Sega came back with a 16-bit system in 1989 called the Sega Genesis that we started to see Nintendo's dominance split off a little bit, and the industry started to take a little bit of a balance. Sega kind of ruled that market until Super Nintendo came along, and then they started to duke it out like the old days when Atari and Coleco would go at it, or Mattel and Odyssey would go at it. Finally, after all the 16-bit wars had ended and 32-bit systems started to come along, that's when we began to see things like games on CD. And Trip Hawkins, who had developed and founded the Electronic Arts Company, created the 3DO system, which was a conceptual piece that would play videos for you, it would play CDs for you, it would play high-end games for you, and maybe someday even go online and play games as well, which was way, way ahead of its time, because if you think about it now, that's what all of our game consoles do. The 3DO was way overpriced, though, ahead of its time, but the hardware was expensive. It failed, but it did start off a chain of 32-bit systems that started with the Atari Jaguar, which they claimed to be a 64-bit system. There's a controversy about that. The Sega Saturn was in the industry, and Sony PlayStation. Once that sort of kicked off, it ends up with this giant group of competitors and developers all in the market, all of which are here today at E3.
My name is Sean Kelly. I'm one of the organizers of Classic Gaming Expo. This is my favorite system, the Intellivision. Back in the early 80s when Atari was king of the hill and Intellivision was nipping at its heels the entire time. Intellivision was known as a little bit more sophisticated system than the Atari was. Rather than a stick with one button, it was a controller with an entire keypad. It actually uses a disc rather than a joystick, which you either loved or you hated it. I loved it. Some of the games that they had for Intellivision were more strategy-based, like Sea Battle. Sea Battle used, you can pick from a bunch of different ships, about 12 different ships, try and invade your opponent's base and take it over. The sports games is what Intellivision was most known for. Boxing, baseball, pretty much all of them were two players. A lot of different options because of the controllers. And technically, Intellivision is actually a 16-bit system, believe it or not. As opposed to Atari, which was 8-bit. But even today, Intellivision is, I don't know if you spoke with Intellivision Productions, they're releasing a lot of the old Intellivision games on modern platforms, Xbox, PS2, PC. You know, it's all real popular.
Well, this is where it all began. This was Ralph Baer's dream and creation to put home video games on a television set, have video games played by somebody on a box. The brown box, as he called it, became the model for the Odyssey that Magnavox produced in 1972, which is the beginning of the video game industry's home console.
My favorite machine would have to be the Atari 800 computer. It's one of Atari's first models. They're 800. They also had a 400 line. It's the architecture of it was so solid and advanced for its time that basically Atari built their entire 8-bit product throughout the years, up into the 90s, was all based on this machine with minor modifications. It's one of the best game machines that are out there. Most people don't think of computers as game machines. But honestly, at the time, for arcade conversions, Pac-Man, those types of games, this machine was doing spot-on conversions at the time, and other stuff the home consoles, you know, the 2600, 5200 couldn't do.
So fast forward to 1983, the game industry has seen a number of different types of 8-bit consoles before, by Atari and Coleco and Odyssey and Magnavox. But what they hadn't seen before was a system that kind of stood on its own and was able to play. Now GCE had this great idea to create a console that you could just carry around with you like a piece of luggage. But what's really innovative about it, besides the fact that it plays cartridges, is that it's vector graphics, which made it look like an arcade game pretty much right out of the box. Nobody else had tried it before or since, actually. So you would put the cartridge in like you would with any other game system, fire it up, and then every one of the games came with its own little color overlay that you could snap into place, which made it look even more like the arcade game because, if I can get this in, right? Because now it's an actual arcade screen, like Scramble. So now I know what all these buttons do. It's so complicated. Fire. And I know player 1 and player 2 score up on the top as well, just like an arcade machine. Now, unfortunately, it was a bit of a victim of that crash that happened in 1984 because there were so many consoles out and consumers had spent all of their money on games. This came out at a very high price. It wasn't a little too much for people to stomach at the time when the industry was sort of failing and died an early death. But today, this is a very highly sought after item. It's not necessarily rare, but because it's difficult to ship and it's difficult to just come across in the wild, game collectors and big-time players just look for this. Everyone looks for it.
The Pong you see here is one of the first versions. It was loaned to us by a good friend of us, Jerry Jessup, who works at Sony, especially for this display. It's from his private collection. This unit was the first commercially successful video game that was ever produced in any amount of quantity. The old story is that the original units were put out at very few places. The unit in particular, the most famous one, was put at a bar called Andy Capp's back in the day. They got a call that the machine was broken. They came down, they opened the door, and the credits, you know, they had an old bread pan and it just filled up with coins, shorted it out. So it was just a tremendous success.
The rarest piece that we have here at our little exhibit here at E3 is the computer space machine. It was the very first stand-up arcade game ever made. It's basically a black and white ships shooting at each other where you controlled it with a series of buttons. It has an incredibly unusual design, which I hope you'll take shots of. Nothing's been done quite like it ever since. It's all made out of fiberglass, and there was only a couple thousand of the machines ever made. It wasn't a terrible success in any way, but it kind of got things started. Of those 1,000 or so, we believe we have piece number 1. So we should have on picture here the very first of the very first.
Look at me. Get my best side.
Who's normal?
Morning. here. Hey Tim, you should probably check upstairs at some point as well to see if they've got another studio cam up there. Okay.
Morning.
Is this breakfast?
That was last night's dinner, I think.
I can hear you down here at night, you know. 4 floors below you, I can hear you snoring every night.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Toby, Jamie, Toby.
Hey, Toby, how are you? Now, there's rumor that you may snore a little. It was some of the other guests down in the lobby.
6:30 a.m. Not good.
Hello.
You have a drinky holder.
With the satellites are. My question is this.
Can you find a drink holder? We can't find a drink holder right now.
Minivan doesn't have a drink holder. And we're up. Like a herd of turtles. That's them?
Yeah.
It's in front.
Should I bump into them?
These people suck.
Slight left turn. Approaching left turn.
Okay, if you look to the left, you see like a side street there? He said try that.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, no, this one.
You guys missed it.
Approaching left turn.
So Jamie pulls out in front of us like that again, I'm going to kick his...
He's all tall.
Can we fit through there?
All right, everybody just suck it in.
Approaching destination on the right.
Does irrelevant. Irrelevant as to how many of us there are here. We were lucky to get another 2. We got 3 in.
All right, we're gonna have to compromise. Jamie outside.
How do you feel about it?
That's what we call the goal, Toby. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
He's just called 1-800-BABE. I'm a big-time producer.
Hello.
These are good.
Makes me feel taller.
Are we standing around again? Next gen.
Just turning into the center.
This is the way to do it.
Equipment generates radio frequency energy. If not installed and used in accordance with the instructions,
is it still full?
may cause harmful interference to radio
Where's the key for this? There it is.
Everyone sleep well?
Secret fetish.
We're back for another round of E3.
of Next Gen Videos, and you're at E3 2004. Welcome. Woo!
It's pretty scary because you get lost. A lot of things making loud noises. I'm left with all this gear, you know.
We're going to get some more B-roll at Midway. I don't think Atari will have any because this year they have a lounge.
You're now at the Atari booth. Notice the red.
Right into this camera here. I can count you in if you want.
Can you get this for the PC?
So we're the SRS dancers, and you got access. Oh, you? Okay, that's.
Girls Gone Wild, talent agent.
But we'll grab you. Can you actually play the game?
Where's Timmy? Where's Timmy? Timmy!
Bit of miscommunication. But I'd need another minute or two to get it secured to the other one. Fix it in post.
My boy Dan here, he's all excitedly packing it away. Can't do more than I've done, mate. She went for a break because we weren't here. Look at that.
And to the side. Like this.
You want to do bike ride, you guys said?
Right into that camera there.
Because we just freaking came from there. Is it there?
It's madness, madness, I tell you.
In accordance with the instructions, may cause harmful interference to radio communication.
Far into the whole hall. You can just take it easy, wander with Timmy, and we'll meet you at NVIDIA.
Right. Video? Yeah. I'll follow Timmy. I don't know what video it is.
We're now going to NVIDIA to see what they've got up against ATI's Monster Card.
Well, no time for lunch, but they have a sit next to the cafeteria. What are we doing here? There's no friggin' booth babes.
My name's Peter Molyneux and I'm a designer working on Fame.
Let's get Jamie losing at this.
I think I can't figure out which way I'm walking. I'm walking into walls. It's pathetic.
Can we head back to the booth?
The party's over.
Come on, what's going on?
Hey, Jeffrey, get that blue pass, man.
Let's move it.
We need some tacos. You want some tacos?
No.
No tacos for breakfast? Hey, man, come on.
You would have only accounted for 1% of the universe.
God, please hurry up.
Here he is. You can't find it. We're out of here.
I don't know exactly why I need that, but looks interesting. I feel like you got a camera up your nose. My wife's gonna be convinced I never really work on these jobs. Ah!
Yeah. Check out them pecs. All right.
What if it works? It probably does work.
Right over the head with a frying pan.
Go away, Toby.
unbothered, hungry and thirsty, and tired.
Hey, what's going on? Oh, we're going.
I love these rooms.
We'll get you sitting in that seat right there. In front
What are you doing?
Mark, we've got Tony Hawk over here. Do you want to come and film some Tony Hawk over?
I'll give them 40 here or? Email's just there. Let's just leave it here for now.
Breakfast, Darby.
All right, let's go. Microsoft.
I want it down here. Down. Yep.
Is there any food in this place?
NextGenVideos.com. Woo! E3 2004. We're having fun. It's a photo shoot, a non-stop photo shoot.
How can you not have fun with all this attention?
Check them out. All for us? It's been a long day, can you tell? Awesome. Just checking out my shots.
If it's hosted like this, I better have a makeup artist or a retoucher around or something like that.
I could have done that alone.
Good. Get on the other end.
In my big mouth. Ooh. Starving.
Bye.
See you, Jamie. Bye.
Morning. Happy birthday to Toby.
Happy birthday, Toby.
Yeah. We'll get an Atari guy to come out and play it.
Come on.
Give us some horn, Jay. There you go. It's on the phone. May I use your horn? Give him some out the window, dog.
Come on. Yeah, a bit of chewed.
No, I like the chewed.
Get the license plate of that car. We're keying the... Give me the ticket. Let's do some pole action. Wow, that was outrageous. What are you doing? Road rage.
Let's go, Jay.
It's on.
We're waiting for Ingmar to run in with an IGN guy for thing.
We're about to meet with Ed Boon from Mortal Kombat, so this should be good. Daniel's a huge fan of Mortal Kombat, and
This is very important.
We're basically
This
going
is
to take
very
him to
important.
school in his new game.
I'm going to school Bernie.
Daniel's going to school him at his own game, so we're
Yeah.
going to
I'm gonna
fatality
own
him.
him.
That's pretty
Yeah.
much what we're going to do.
Yeah,
So
I'm going to make one up.
stay tuned.
Yeah, watch that. You're going to need that.
Class this way, students.
Can't ask the man to play on a little black and white. It's not going to happen.
It's his birthday.
Oh, I fell off it. Oh.
after that.
Jeff, what's up? Jeff, what's up?
Wait, that's booze.
It's like this.
Happy birthday, Toby.
Follow me.
Exhaustion is setting in.
Even then, you got the plates on the top, you got to put plates in the back. No, what time are we going out, Toby?
Diana with Next Gen Videos, and you're at E3 2004. Welcome. Woo!
I'm Jane E. Norris, one of the Next Gen Video Girls.
There's actually some very sweet guys. I love it when like the guys come up and they don't grab you really hard, but instead they gently put their hands like right in front like this, or just slightly on the shoulder like this.
Or they put their arms around you, but they don't touch you.
Yeah.
We're like,
very
yeah,
nice.
We're
very
digging
nice.
that.
I like that.
I love this show because there's so much energy here. It's packed. There's people from all over the world. It's interesting people watching, and the energy is just really exciting. I don't really get to walk around and see the other booths or anything, but I love it just because it's exciting and the energy is cool. Sometimes they also like they'll grab you and then they'll go and like pull you in, and you're like, oh, excuse me, a little softer.
I like guys who are good-hearted, fun, adventurous, funny, definitely. Just good people, and that like sounds so simple, but after living in LA for so long, most people aren't very good. I'm a Pisces.
I am a Capricorn, and that is a very close camera. How do you like my nose?
Pisces, for the most part, are very intense, very, they feel things very deeply.
We do a lot of photos, and it's like an 8-hour photo shoot. I don't mind that, but some of the guys are really sweaty.
The least favorite are the guys that are so sweaty that you reach around and you touch their shirt. Is that what you said?
Yes! It's like, did you jog to our booth? Are you that excited to see us?
I really like nice stomachs. There's just something about a good stomach that I like.
We've met very lovely people.
I like to take a bath, listen to music, wash the makeup off my face, and just hang out and watch TV. Chill out.
I like funny guys. successful guys, handsome guys, but they have to be funny. You can't be handsome and successful and not be funny.
And then there are the butt grabbers, of course, and
we do a lot of this.
Yeah. Someone out there is going to know what I'm talking about. Vectrex. Has anyone ever heard of a Vectrex? Because that was like before Atari, I think. It was like the very first game, but it was like a box in itself. You just kind of plugged it in the different cartridges. Yes, yes?
We shot it this morning.
They're here?
History of video games.
Oh my god, that's so weird. My brother had that, and I was like 4 years old, 3 years old.
So what have thought?
I still have it, actually.
Pac-Man and asteroids. Should I try and look pretty, or can I just do this?
Well, that looks pretty still. You didn't play Frogger? Oh, classic.
I missed that.
But I played the one where you pick up hookers and deal drugs and stuff. What's that?
That's called LA.
Take two.
You should have been here yesterday. Everyone kept asking us to kiss. And in the middle of the afternoon, we're like, oh, we did that earlier. You missed the show. Perverted people here, these gamers.
Yeah, all the gamers have it.
Hi, we're the Next Gen Girls, and you've got access. Hi, we're from Play Logic, and you've got access. Woohoo! We're the Nyko Girls, and you've got access. We're the Larry Girls, and you've got access. Hi, we're the Laker Girls, and you've got access.
Kick-ass video game stuff.
We're having fun. It's a photo shoot, a non-stop photo shoot.
How can you not have fun with all this attention?
All for us? Awesome. Do it. Tough day's job. Fall over.
With a close-up like this, I better have a makeup artist or a retoucher around or something like that. But anyhow, we're having fun. It's the end of the day, so we're a little bit tired. But we love you. We love working for you every year.
Just checking out my Can I do mine over?
No, it's fun. All right, here we go.